Hey everyone, I like taking a walk over here at night to the Walmart's retention pond and look for the alligator. Other people have seen me come over here looking for it at night, and they know exactly what I'm doing because they have seen it too. It's kind of sad. There's these couple ducks here. See, there's a black duck and that white duck. Over there looks like another. No, that's not. That's a native bird. But still, you see how it's walking around? That's weird, seeing that type of bird out here at night. Weird. But you see how it's walking around? There's an alligator in here, and there's a couple dead ones when I cleaned up trash in the pond about a week ago. I was picking up plastic bags because there was a disgusting amount of them. There's still a lot of trash, but I stopped going in the water when I saw the little 3-foot alligator, because that could still hurt you. I don't know where it is now, but it's disgusting the amount of shopping bags that go in here. I must have picked hundreds of them out. A small alligator is unlikely to even try to attack you unless you corner it. They don't go after things they don't think they can eat. They wouldn't see me as food, the small ones. Maybe it's hiding in the plants. I don't know. People told me it's been here for months. But in the past couple weeks, I probably stayed over at this Walmart maybe 6 times in the past couple of weeks, on and off, as I'm in the area. For anyone who doesn't know, Walmart lets you sleep overnight in their parking lots, whether it's in your vehicle or a camper. The majority of locations don't care, unless there's an ordinance or high crime, which the security guard is told to kick people out. But in good areas, Walmart doesn't care if you stay here. And for the people in my comment section who call me a bum for sleeping in the parking lot, well, I have a nice setup in the back of my truck. I have a nice comfy bed. The weather in Florida this time of year is nice at night. It's been lately in the 50s at night for temperature here in Florida, and that is perfect weather for sleeping. And you get hungry, you go into the store. Have to use the bathroom, you can go into the store. Don't have to spend money on expensive hotels. That's the biggest price tag when you're traveling, is where are you gonna sleep? If I need a shower, go to a truck stop. Or, you know what's cheaper than a truck stop? Truck stops tend to be about $15. You get a private shower room, for anyone who doesn't know that, and you have unlimited time to shave, brush your teeth, do whatever you want in that private bathroom. That's how a truck stop works. But I rarely actually do that. If I'm up north and it's warm out, can't do it now, it's winter, but I'll go swimming in a body of water. Now in Florida, there's reasons you can't do that, the alligators. And in Florida though, and I've done this a few times, you spend like $5, go to a state park that's like oceanfront, go swimming in the ocean. Then on your way out, you get free access to the locker rooms at most of the state parks. Take a shower in there. Because if I had to get a hotel room every night, at that point, I'm probably not really making much money. Every now and then I do feel really gross, and I will get a hotel room. But that's only every couple of weeks if I'm out for an extended amount of time. I spend probably a third of the year sleeping in my truck while I travel. And actually, I would prefer to do it. And there's a whole bunch of other reasons why. If I'm in a hotel room and I paid for it, I feel like I better get my money's worth out of it. So I'll stay there until they kick me out, which is like usually 11 o'clock in the morning. And 11 o'clock in the morning, I've just wasted half the day. You sleep over at Walmart, it's just like sleeping in a tent as far as You usually get woken up at the crack of dawn by the sun. And if you're woken up by the crack of dawn, then you get on the road faster. Get back to exploring faster, doing things faster. And the majority of the time, unless it's really cold out in the winter, in Florida it does it every day. If you're still sleeping when the sun comes up, well, give it an hour or two. The sun will wake you up. It'll turn the vehicle into a greenhouse. Then you get your butt going. Also, I say hotel, but I usually will go to a motel because I like to keep an eye on the vehicle. Best way to keep an eye on the vehicle is being in it. I don't want to walk over in this corner because I'll feel bad if I scare those two ducks into the water and they get attacked. Because I don't know where this guy is. I can't really thoroughly search the pond. And I'm not going to use my massive flashlights here and have people wonder what I'm doing. Rather not. You see that, like right there? That's a dead bird that the alligator probably killed. There was 2 white ducks last time, and I know those aren't native to Florida. I think a farmer or someone who didn't want them dumped them here for some reason. Those are like 2 farm ducks. They get fed all the time. The only issue is the alligator and the waters. You know, I guess any duck pond's going to be polluted. This is probably polluted with the dead animals and abundance of fish. And if you've seen this place in the daytime, hundreds and hundreds of, you saw that bird walking around, that's called an ibis. And that's a native bird that eats little fish. And yes, there's tons of little fish in here. That's probably why it's here. And you know, they're like seagulls basically, but friendly. You can hand feed them. And they come into the parking lot because people park here all the time throughout the day and dump leftovers. That's a big group of, literally 500 of them will come up in the parking lot. Today, there was a group of 500 of them this morning, and people were honking at him, trying to get him out of the way. The bird has no reaction to the horn whatsoever. It doesn't scare the birds. It doesn't make them even flinch. They don't move. Someone got out of their car to like try to shove the birds out of the way. It doesn't really help either. You know what the best thing was, and it was hilarious? I got through that really fast because I just threw a piece of leftover food out the window and they all came running over here, and I just drove right by them. So yeah, the hundreds of birds here, it's really cool. It's like Walmart has their own private duck pond, but it isn't meant to be. There's a whole bunch of these retention. No, this is not retention. This is a detention pond. So a retention pond, let's say this was a retention pond. It would always have this amount of water, and during a storm it would fill all the way up. But there's always a little bit with plants and cattails usually, which help break down oils and stuff. But this is supposed to be a detention pond, which means usually empty, only fills during a storm. Well, it's broken. The culvert that's deep underwater is supposed to be draining this and keeping it always empty, while the other one fills it. And it's supposed to fill up and slowly release to prevent overwhelming local waterways. That's the point. That's why by law, any building or parking lot built these days is supposed to have one of these. Florida's actually really cool looking around. I notice a good amount of houses here have canals in the backyard, so there's boat access to get around everywhere. And I learned that the canals are mostly there because they had to basically use the canals as quarries to be able to build up everything else because Florida was too flat. I also learned Florida actually has a lot of ponds and lakes that they had to dig in order to get rock to build up everything else, build roadways up. Because most of Florida is, I think it was below 20 feet sea elevation, the majority of everything. Then there's some neighborhoods, I can't believe people keep building back after hurricanes. It's only 2 feet elevation from the ocean. And people build back slab homes. There's smart ones that build back on stilts. But then you see ones being built back that are on slabs. I can't believe it. Can't believe they're doing that. Of course it's going to flood again if it flooded twice in the past year. I don't want to bother these ducks, but take a look at them. Look how cute they are when they sleep. tucked themselves in, but you can still see me. These ducks are really cool. The native bird, I think, left. The ibis, I don't know where it went. It's either hiding in those plants over there, or maybe it went up into a tree. They sleep in big trees, and I assumed that they would have been here at first, but then when I researched, big trees away from their food source, and because everyone feeds them here and there's fish here, they don't sleep where they eat. So I don't know where they fly off to. Maybe a local swamp or something a little more natural than this. But it's sad the amount of garbage that keeps blowing down in here. I remember the first day I was feeding them, I felt bad, so I had to clean up a bunch of the trash, and made me feel a little better about myself, even though I probably only cleaned up 1/3. I cleaned up like 90% of what was visible until I saw the gator, but most of the bags I was pulling up were like covered in silt. You could barely see them as it is, so I can't imagine how many are still in here. I'm assuming there's probably still 2/3 like under there. Like if you look around, I'm probably gonna be able to find you some. See, like that shopping bag, oh, it's covered in silt. Give it a little while, it'll be completely buried. It'll just keep on happening. It's interesting how this pond is so shallow, but yet I've been in Florida for a few weeks and it hasn't really dried up. How? The majority of days have been hot until recently. It started getting really below usual for here, which I like. I still think it's hot, even though people tell me it's cold who live here. Right now it's like 60 degrees out. I think it's amazing. I like this. Today I just did laundry. Every 2 weeks or so I do laundry when I'm traveling. Take the sheets out of the truck, take the towels off of the front seats, which I use for sitting on. It keeps the seats looking nice for longer. And you always have a towel if you get wet or you have to clean up something. Clean those, clean my laundry. When I'm traveling, I'll usually wear the same thing for maybe 3 days, and unless I get really dirty or stinky. And after about 2 weeks, I run out of clothes, and I had to go to the laundromat today. Laundromat in Florida was the most expensive one I've ever seen. Never seen a load of laundry for $5.50. Usually it's like $3 laundromats. The dryer was good though. It was $2 for 20 minutes. That's all I needed. I didn't have that much laundry. I probably would have had to put the dryer on more like 40 minutes if I washed like my blanket and stuff. But I haven't been using my blanket in Florida. Been too warm. Still looking for that guy. I'm sure he's in here still. It's got to be relocated at some point though. Still seeing lots of fish. It being a smaller one, it can still easily hide, I bet. Who knows where that pipe goes? Maybe he's at a different pond, I don't know. I'm gonna end the video here though. Actually, today was the first time in my life I've ever seen a gas station that had a touch screen. Like, it didn't have buttons to select the octane level. It was just one massive touch screen that did it all. Never seen that before. It was weird. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night.